Alright, this is the second level 60 ninja quest given to us by Oboro. This would be like going into the new expansion when 60 used to be the cap and then, expanded to 70. This is called Search for the Stolen Scroll. We're in the storehouse as usual. Here we go. Oh, alas and alack, whatever am I to do? Oh, mercy! As a shinobi, I am loath to admit this, but I did not see you come in. Truth be told, I have been somewhat distracted of late. Princess Yuki, it would seem, sent a letter to my village praising us for our efforts on her behalf, thus revealing my story of an injury preventing me from making the journey home for the ruse that it was. But my shame is not that I have been summoned back to the village. It shouldn't have another but, right? But rather quite the opposite. It should just be like, village, quite the opposite. Okay, whatever. Despite knowing that I'm hale and hearty, my elders seem to be in no particular hurry to welcome me back into the fold. Should the time come when we have need for you in Doma, we shall summon for you. Until then, you are to remain at your post and do all in your power to aid our countrymen in Eorzea. That was all in quotes. Such were their words. Is this how far I have fallen? Am I as a falcon bereft of its claws, a dull blade tossed to the wayside by its master? For all I know, I have been all but exiled to this place. I am sorry, Mercy. Heaven knows that you did not come here to listen to my griping. On a brighter note, I just received word from Captain Jacke. It would seem some Easterners are causing something of a stir. I suppose I should be grateful that someone still has need of my services. Anyhow, it would seem the Kami have led you here at a most opportune time. Would you care to accompany me? I nod, of course. I thank you, my friend. Let us make for Lim Salaminsa and see what our friends at the Rogues Guild would ask of us. I'm going to do it the cheap way, and I apologize in advance. It only adds... Okay, so here. If I were just to teleport back, it'd be 215. If I were to use my free home point to go to Gridania first and take the airship, it would be 120. However, if I fly over to Costa del Sol and enjoy this beautiful waterfront view, or coastline view, I guess is a more appropriate way to word it. The beautiful resort of Costa del Sol with its wooden pathways that are up on stilts, as it were. You don't really do anything with this island over here. I don't think it plays into any quest any quest I've ever done so far. Just a little island off the, very, very close to the shore, the actual mainland. Ferry skipper, take me back to Limsa, please. For 40. So if you're penny pinching, you can just fly back. You will be able to fly in Eorzea by this time, because basically... actually, I don't know. I don't know how easy... Well, it would take a lot longer. Yeah, you don't... Well, no. Yeah, you do. You have to complete a certain story quest to progress further in the job quest. So that's right, yeah. Anyway, yeah. What am I doing? Actually, where am I going? Limsa... Oh, yeah, Jacke, okay. The Rogues Guild. Or the Sisters of Edelweiss? Some dutiful Sisters of the Edelweiss. Wow, my memory is weird sometimes. I remember some things. Partial some things. I'm tired. I've not been sleeping good. Waking up at 1:30 and just trying to meditate, sleep, focusing fully on my breath, my breathing. It seems like if I force if I don't just make it autonomic breathing, if I focus on it, I do feel more tired that way. I'm focusing on something rhythmic and repeating. But God, I just cannot turn my brain off. I don't know. Oboro is here with Jacke, and we talked to Jacke to continue. Well, if it ain't the dimberest damber of 'em all, I trust you've been keeping your stabbers sharpened? What with you and Oboro on the job, I reckon all'll be bob afore the lightments come round. Here's where we stand. One of me little birds in the Kraken's arms came chirping to me a story about some domans who I reckon are breaking one code or another. Seems they, the Krakens, that is, were out snilching the eastern seas when they grabbed a vessel flying Garlean colours, so that, as they're wont to do, but then came the rub. The crew claimed to be Doman, you see, and upon whittling their captor's identity, they changed tack, begging for asylum on Eorzean shores and offering the entirety of their cargo in full in return for safe passage. Call him a Bennikov or a fool, the Kraken captains took the self-styled Domans up on their offer, stowing the eastern treasures, and the Easterners themselves, away in the hold. They set sail for Limsa. But after pulling into port, a funny thing happened. No sooner had the Krakens dropped anchor than the refugees put on their best beater cases and skulked off into the dead of Darkmans, leaving all their treasures behind. All their treasures save one, a scroll of sorts that had been hiding in a corner, all inconspicuous like. Carvalain, Carvallain, reckons that these Doman refugees, in quotes, have played us for some rum fun, and they're off selling the scroll on the black markets for good blunt even as we speak. Oboro says, I see. So you would have us recover the scroll in question and bring the thieving Domans to justice. I'm honored to lend what aid I can, and yet I cannot help but wonder, just what could it be about the scroll to make it so valuable to my countrymen? Well, we're not going to whittle the scrap just sitting around here on our daddles now, are we? Let's snilch town and see what the common coves and morts have and haven't seen. Mercy, why don't you go pay Itolwan a visit at the wench? If there's any rumours going around about any shifty Easterners, like as not that Mort would know. You do remember what to order, eh? Of course a dimber damber like yourself would. Good luck out there, and keep your waddles open. We'll be waiting for you in Bulwark Hall when you're through. Well, if I had done this quest on my previous ninja, which I might have, I don't remember yet. No, I would not remember what the code word would be. Oh, I thought we were going... Okay. So we're just popping out of here and going to the aft castle via the fisherman's or Ethernet shard, whatever. I think jog, which is the how do you want to put this? It's not often they changed things months ago. It hasn't been a long time, but it's been months for sure. Where sprint turns into jog after your 20 seconds of sprint. But I think jog's movement speed bonus is equivalent to the base rogue move speed passive that you get at level 20? 20, yeah. Alright. Here's Etolwan. That's I apostrophe Tom O-L-W-A Nancy. She's in this like Adventurers Guild area, the wench, the drowning wench. Yeah, anyway. Welcome to the drowning wench. What's your pleasure, miss? Oh god, I don't remember then. Chilled ale, strong ale, weak ale. A weak ale. Nobody asked for that, right? Yeah. Ah, you must be here on business. Mayhaps I could offer you something from our underground menu. Now, what's your fancy? I explain why I'm here. Guest from the east, you say? Why, yes, I do believe we have some visitors not long ago matching that description. We had some visitors. They left shortly before you arrived. I make a habit of pricking my ears up to catch our patrons' every whisper, but the party in question required little such effort. Why, they were shouting of tales of riches and glory in a roar that could wake the dead. Said they were on their way to Wineport to make the transaction of a lifetime, though they weren't keen on going into detail. Just between us, I wouldn't be surprised if there was something less than savory about their business. Speaking of savory, can I interest you in our seafood stew? I think this plus is a different, yeah. I have to... sometime I'll figure out what those are. I have done research on them. Wait, what's going on here? Where's Jacke? I'm not in the bulwark hall, am I? Is he above me? Okay, hey, so, yeah, okay. I'm like, what? I don't see him here. Why would they show him? No, they don't show him on my map. They show... Yeah, I got it. I'm done. I'm a dum-dum-dum. I'm a dum-dum-dum-dum-dum-dum-dum-dum. I think this is correct. The main etherite of Limsa. Yeah, cool. And then off to the east. Oh. Okay, we have Jacke and Oboro. So our lads are heading to Wineport, eh? Benny work, mercy. Remind me to slip Eto'l one some extra blunt next time we stop by the wench for libations. That said, something doesn't sit right with me. Cackling their plans for every drunkard and tavern wench to hear? I reckon our friends might be looking to amuse us, if you whittle my gist. Keep your eyes open and your stabber sharp, mates. And they walk to the east, continuing. Let's just go outside with them, I suppose. Although Wineport would quicker. Whatever. Can't they teleport, or is that is that something that is a bonus? Is not the right word. It's 186 to teleport to Wineport. Side effect of having the echo. A feature, I guess, of having the echo. So yeah, we're back to Eastern Lenosha, Wineport. Jacke and Oboro here near the gate. Talk to Jacke to continue. Well, there's a bleeding surprise. The code-breaking curs have already bit the blow and hopped the twig, with a caravan's worth of bingo in tow. Word is they were last seen beating a path for Bloodshore. But what could they mean to... Wait a bleeding moment. What if the grog's not meant for selling, but keeping their throats wet on a long voyage? I reckon our lads are trying to smuggle the scroll home. There's no time to lose. Let's brush off our beater cases and make for Bloodshore all quick-like. Oboro and I'll snilch the north side. Mercy, you take the south. We have to catch these curs before they slip from our daddles for good. I don't know where Bloodshore is. Oh, it's down there, okay. The fastest way would be to spend 100 gil to teleport down to Costa del Sol, and then mount up and go south from there. I've already spent more gil on this than I want to. So we random mount hop on our... I call it a land shark, because it has feet. Thick shark legs. But it's otherwise a shark. Oh, no, they got arms and hands too, I suppose, too. Yeah, that's definitely not shark-like. Do sharks have arms? No, they don't, son. They don't. That would be possibly more terrifying. We find 3 people with samurai swords and those like eastern hats that are like shallow domes, I guess is the best way I can describe it. These are bottles in the sand between the 3 of them. Maybe they're drinking and having a good time. Heh, you just had to poke your nose in our business, eh? Guess you leave us no choice. Oh no, what am I supposed to do? Probably should have done fire instead of... What? 3 down. Rendezvous with Jacke, who is up to the north. Okay. Oh yeah, I took south blood. So this entire thing is the... Oh yeah, Bloodshore right there. Done. So I took out 3. Let's see what Jacke and Oboro pulled. After this, I will do the machinist possibly 3, because Machinist, for whatever reason, seems to have, like, hey, we're going to give you a new ability, and then continue the quest at the same level. So maybe 3, maybe just 2, like the other jobs, I don't know. Oboro and Jacke have downed 3 very, very similar looking samurai people. Cutscene. Talking to Jacke to continue. Let me guess, you came upon a couple of rough-looking cows. These cows came waving their stabbers in my face before I could edge in a word. I reckon 'twas the same for you. We all turned to look at them. The scroll is nowhere to be seen, nor is anything resembling a ship. If I did not know better, I would say they were a simple group of ruffians enjoying their ill-gotten grog, says Oboro. A voice we don't know yet says, the dim one sees, but does he truly see? No, these unfortunate men were but pawns in a grand scheme, as disposable as the bottles that now litter the shore. We turn to the voice. Oh, it's gotta be him. He's striking a weird pose. Kamustra? No. It starts with a K. He was like the villain-ish person for levels, well, ninja levels 30 through 45-ish, and then was no longer the villain by 50. He always struck weird poses when he talks. Right now he's got like a half white mask that covers like from the nose up, eyes, forehead, all that, and just black robes. But underneath the robes and in the arm area, you could see like red armor that goes down to the wrist and a little bit into the hand. Meanwhile, your true quarry has boarded a trader and sails for Kugane even as we speak, under the auspices of the East Aldenard Trading Company, no less. So cunning a scheme, I wish I'd thought of it myself. Or did I? How do you know all? Bugger me, you're the cove from the House of Sticks. We get the ninja dust, and it is... He's doing a weird pose again. Karasu, that's what it is. Karasu Redbeak, says Oboro. Childhood friends turned bitter enemies, then friends once more, reunited after far too long. Our hero returns, and the audience swoons. Oh, what a joyous day. Or is it? I'll say this much, dim one. For once, you've managed to surprise me. To think that the oh-so-serious Oboro would lie to his elders to avoid having to make the journey home, only to find he wasn't welcome to begin with. Oh, the irony of it all. Enough of your preening and prattling, Karasu. I want answers. How did you know we were here? Just what is your connection to the thieves we pursue? You mean the thieves who already eluded your clumsy grasp, just as I'm about to do? I fear that is a story for another day. Does the ninja smoke and disappears. Bah, ever the slippery bird, that one. That daft rook's an acquaintance of yours? That's news to Jack Swattles. Meanwhile, we've got our work cut out for us if we still want to grapple that scroll. Is there anywhere we can have a few words, you know, secret-like? Say no more, Captain Jack. As luck would have it, our base of operations is but a short walk from these parts. Mercy, pray join us at the storehouse. Jack nods. They walk out of the scene as it goes black. We random mount on our black Chocobo. If I remember correctly, in Final Fantasy VII, when you got to black Chocobos, they could walk up waterfalls, or down waterfalls, or both, you know? Basically, as long as they weren't crossing an ocean, they could go everywhere. But to cross oceans, to get, like, I think that was how you got the Knights of the Round materia, and possibly also how you got Cloud's Omni Slash? Is it called Omni Slash? God, it's been a long time. I haven't played the new one, like the more first person. I've seen videos of it here and there, but only when it was coming out the first. I haven't watched any videos of how it's going now. I'm kind of curious to see. Maybe I'll find a channel that's going through the story like I do. Anyway, we're at the storehouse. Calico, you're amazing. I love you, but I've had you for too long, so minion roulette time. A simple little dodo. Okay. I think you have to buy this. I don't recall where or with what currency. There's a fat little dodo. I think actually I've heard recently that the dodo is just like how scientists have brought back dire wolves, and if you didn't know about this, you should definitely look it up because it's super cool. They're not going to reintroduce dire wolves to the like actual environments, but they have made 3 dire wolves. I guess they had a tiny, like a 90-something% of the direwolf genome through fossils or something, and the parts that they were missing, they figured out with, I think, gray wolf DNA. But yeah, they have 3 direwolves in a large open, but like not sorry, in a large enclosed space somewhere, and it's extremely hard to visit them. But I listened to the Joe Rogan podcast, and he actually got a chance to go and visit them and pet one. Apparently they stink because, like, I don't know if it's hard to bathe them but I think the dodo was mentioned in the most recent podcast he had with one of the scientists that was at least partially responsible for bringing back the direwolves, that the dodo, they have the DNA for the dodo. So we might get dodos back, which are not like apex predators, so could theoretically be reintroduced to the wild, but I don't know how that would go. Anyway, sorry for that digression. We're going to talk to Oboro to complete the quest. Karasu Redbeak. Of all the places I thought our search might lead us, never in my wildest dreams did I think it would lead us to him. Come square with me, Oboro. Just who is this Karasu Cove? Can we trust him, or is he like as not to stick us is he like as not to stick us his stabbers in our back? Why couldn't they just say stick his stabbers in our back the moment we return a blind eye? No, I mean, yes, I mean, he's neither, or both, or perhaps I should say it's complicated. Judging from your reaction, it sure seems as much. Anyway, if our men have set sail for Hingashi, I reckon we've no choice but to do the same. I wasn't exactly preparing for a long voyage, but damned if I'll leave this job half done. That said, shamed as I am to admit it, this is old Jack's first journey to the Far East. I wouldn't know Kagane from a rum doxy's arse, and I don't know a rogue what can do his work without knowing the lay of the land. Worry not, Captain Jack. I have traveled there on many an occasion to procure the tools of my trade from the finest Hingan artisans. It would be my pleasure to serve as your guide. Your presence would be most heartening as well, Mercy. Kugane is a city where anything can happen, and there's no telling what dangers await us there. I'll agree with that, but mind you, Mercy's are right, busy Mort. What say we do it this way? Oboro and I will go on ahead, and we'll send for you once we've snooped out the place and worked out our next plan of action. A reasonable plan, Captain Jack. In that case, Mercy, pray check in at the storehouse from time to time. I will send word to Yomai when we require your services. In the meantime, may the Kami guide you in your training. Search for the stolen scroll is complete. 100,000 experience points, 1312 gil. Next quest at 63, I'm thinking. Yeah, because that's what it was for Black Mage. Cool beans. 100,000 experience points is just a little under, nope, a little over 1/14th of the way to 61. Hope you enjoyed. I'll see you soon for whatever video of mine you watch next. Bye bye.